Hello, and welcome to the Inner Game of Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and this week it is the Lions Gate portal. If you're not an astrology nerd, just let me nerd out for a second. This is one of my favorite days of the year. I consider it a holiday. The Lionsgate portal is when the star Sirius lines up with the sun, and it happens once a year around August 8th. It's like the 6th through the 12th is when it's happening, but the pinnacle of the energy is August 8th. And then there's the numerology of the 8-8 double number, the number of manifestation, of stability, of taking your dreams and your visions and your creativity and channeling it into material abundance on this plane. At the same time, we have a Jupiter Cazimi, and Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion and opportunity. It is a supercharged time for manifestation. This is a day where we can really collapse time between what we want and where we're at now. How are we going to get from here to there? Portal, a doorway. You walk through it, this next level. It is a day for taking inspired action toward becoming the version of you that you need to become in order to have the things you want. I like that. I like that shit. And with that in mind, we're going to talk a little bit today about motivation and inspiration and what I think those things are and how I believe they function and how to use them the most effective way possible in your life. So frequently around a portal like Lionsgate portal, you might feel really inspired and really motivating. If you're a follower of astrology content, there's all this content coming out about what a great time it is to manifest and make vision boards and to do visualizations and to write down what you want and to get clear on your next level and your dreams. I feel like there's a similar energy around New Year's. There may be a similar energy around your birthday. Like, this is a day that I'm really getting thoughtful and deliberate about my next level, and I feel on fire to make things happen. That's beautiful. And inspiration and motivation to me feel like when you get the star power up in Super Mario and you just like are really fast and you're just knocking down obstacles and nothing can stand in your way. And it is a really intense, short burst of incredible activation where you can move faster and you can take down anything that stands in your way. It is not designed to last forever. And this is the part where I think it's tricky because sometimes I think that motivation and inspiration are a little bit of a drug that trick you into feeling like you're going to feel this same way about this project forever. And when you don't, when the motivation and the inspiration and the excitement inevitably wear off and you are left in the slog, the day-to-day of now building the thing you decided you were going to build in the moment that you were high on inspiration and motivation, you're like, oh God, I hate this. Maybe I'm not really that into this project. Maybe this project isn't what I want to do after all. Maybe this isn't something I'm as excited about as I thought I was because I don't feel the same way about it anymore. Maybe I'm just going to let it go. Meh. And it can crumble. And we don't want that to happen. What I believe is the best use of motivation and inspiration. Here's how I use it. Here's what I recommend. Is that on the days that you feel incredibly motivated and inspired toward accomplishing something, that is the day you go out and enlist help. You build systems. You create structure. You enlist accountability. Because you're planning for the motivation to wear off. And when the motivation wears off and the inspiration dies down and all you're left with is the work that remains to finish the project, you are going to be so grateful to have the systems, structure, support, and accountability that you put in place on the day that you had the strength of 100 Marios. Do you see the logic here? So rather than using the motivation to rush forward and start the project on your own, you use the motivation to hire the coach, to join the yoga program with the, monthly classes that are kind of expensive where you have to go because now you're locked in and you paid for it, to sign yourself up for the 6-week training program that has dates that you have to be there live, to put together an accountability buddy group with your friends, to sign yourself up for some type of body doubling or co-working, to hire the professional organizer that's going to come to your house and help you with the redesign project. When you're feeling inspired, the next best move is to go, what is the timeline of actually seeing this project through all the way to the end? What do I anticipate I'm going to need to make that happen, especially once this feeling of motivation and inspiration wears off and I'm back into the day-to-day of my life and I feel busy and I feel overwhelmed and I don't feel like it anymore? And what do I need to do today to get myself the structure, support, and accountability that I'm going to need on that day? People ask me all the time, how do you work when you're not motivated? How do you create content when you're not motivated? How do you send emails when you're not motivated? Y'all, I am not motivated all the time. No one is. There's no one emotional state that's constant, which is why we cannot have one emotional state that we make the prerequisite for working in our business. Being able to show up to your business needs to be something that you can do no matter how you feel. The same way that if you had a boring day job, you would go plunk your butt in the chair whether you were having a great day or not, because that's just what you do. You just show up and you don't make feeling good a prerequisite most of the time for showing up at the job. You know that you can be at that job when you're having a bad day, when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling tired, when you're phoning it in, when you're like, I just really don't want to be here today. But a lot of times in our own business, we get into a thing of, if I don't feel excited and inspired and alive and on fire, then I can't do it and I don't show up to it. And that is a little bit of sabotage that is unnecessary. I am not motivated all the time. I don't need to be motivated all the time in order to get my work done, because what I'm relying on the days that I'm not motivated are the systems, structures, and supports that I put in place during the moments when I was experiencing inspiration and motivation. With that in mind, every year I have a flash offer for the Lionsgate portal, and it's a little different every year. And this year, I'm very excited that I have 2 offers for you that are designed to help you use the excitement, the inspiration, the manifestation, the law of massive action, which is where you take a big step to show the universe that you're serious about co-creating the thing that you're trying to build. These 2 offers are designed to help you take advantage of this moment and of this energy. The first is my CEO Direction Intensive. You may know about this. You may have heard me talk about it before. It is a single 2-hour strategy session. This is really great for my folks who tend to avoid doing long-term structural planning. You might have a lot of different brilliant ideas and you might struggle to prioritize your brilliant ideas. So you might feel like you're not sure which of your offers you should launch or in what order. You might feel confused about what direction you should be going right now in your business. That is a great time to do a CEO Direction Intensive. You fill out a form that tells me all about what's going on in your business. You give me your things to look at, everything that you're swirling on and struggling to decide between, and all of the places that you're feeling stuck and unsure. And then we meet for 2 hours and we sort all of these competing priorities out. and we help you figure out what the best strategy, structure, and plan of execution is for you for your next 90 plus days. I always say 90 plus days because we will not plan less than a quarter of execution for you, but frequently people have left with 6 months, a full year plan, just because they had so many ideas that once we were able to put them into a sequence, it created clarity of exactly what they should be working on to maximize their revenue and minimize their work hours for an extended period going forward. But you will not leave with less than 90 days worth of clarity on exactly what you need to execute. This offer is really good for you if you're the kind of person who is great at executing. If you've ever woken up and been like, if somebody would just tell me exactly what to do to reach my goal, I would do it. I just need the plan, and I'm struggling to create the plan because every time I start working on something, I'm like, oh, but I also want to do this, and I really like this idea, and I'm not sure if maybe I should do this, and people really like this, and I have this thing going on. We sort all of that out. I am not going to tell you what to do. I am going to sit with you to create the most high leverage and realistic to who you are and what's going on in your life plan and timeline for how to get you to your goals the most expedient way possible. So that's what we do in a CEO Direction Intensive. Those are usually $1,500 for the Lionsgate portal. On August 8th, for 24 hours only, it will be $888. There are third-party payment plans, and there is a payment plan that is 4 payments of $222. There are only 8 of them available. We love a theme. CEO Direction Intensive for $888, only 8 spots on August 8th for 24 hours. The other offer is a new package that I created just for this event called the Lionsgate CEO Accelerator. It starts with the Direction Intensive, so you get the Direction Intensive included. And then you and I together are going to choose the single most valuable, high leverage Jenga block thing that needs to be built in order to make the rest of the plan successful. And we build it together over the course of 8 weeks. So you may already have a project. Maybe it's like, I need to create SOPs and hire and train my first team member. I need to audit my product suite and pare down my products and create a new product suite for my business moving forward. I have a thing that I want to launch, and I want to create a complete launch and an evergreen funnel and a plug and play launch that I can use again and again in my business. You might have this thing, this big thing that you've been like, I know I need to do this. I know that this move in my business is going to be a game changer for me. Maybe you've even sat down and tried to start it yourself, but you never finish it. You are really struggling to carry this thing through to completion. Or maybe you haven't started it on your own because you look at it and you go, I know that that's the next big thing and I need to do that, but I don't know how or where to start. So it just stays on the shelf. And maybe you're not exactly sure what the most valuable Jenga block high leverage project is to do first, but you have a feeling that there is one. We will figure out what it is in the Direction Intensive, our kickoff session. And then we will set into implementation, and I will support you with structure, strategy, accountability, coaching, support for 8 weeks to get this thing built. You will leave with a game-changing initiative for your business completed. The CEO Direction Intensive is our kickoff call. You get that 2 hours complimentary, $1,500 value. That's where we start. And then 8 weeks of coaching, which includes 8 weeks of Voxer support, document review, access to me to help you get this thing up and built and ready to implement into your business. The Lionsgate CEO Accelerator is $8,888. There is a 8-month payment plan of $1,111. There are also third-party payment plans available at checkout for full price, and there are only 3 of those that will be available for 24 hours on August 8th. You can read all about both offers at intuitiveedgecoaching.com/Lionsgate. All of the information is there, but you will not be able to buy anything until August 8th. The buttons don't work. So you can read everything, you can decide what you want, you can get your coins ready, you can set an alarm if you're not on my email list. If you're on my email list, you're going to get an email at 12:01 a.m. on August 8th that says you can buy now. The cart will be open for 24 hours or until they're sold out. So if 8 of those CEO direction intensives get grabbed, the buttons come down. If 3 of the CEO accelerator packages get grabbed, the buttons come down. So if you know you want one, I encourage you to stay up late on Friday night and act quickly so that you can grab one. So this is just my way of being the support structure, the accountability, the strategy there to help you make sure that the next level vision that you are calling in, that you are manifesting, that you are aligning with the energy of the star Sirius and the sun on 8/8 and saying, this is where I'm headed, this is where I'm going. Here's how I'm going to help you get there. So I would love to support you in making that next level goal happen quickly and in the most drama-free way possible. intuitiveedgecoaching.com/Lionsgate. And even if you don't decide to work with me, which would be silly, but even if you don't, I encourage you to use the energy of the Lionsgate portal to get yourself the structure, the support, and the systems in place that you need to carry your vision all the way through to completion. Okay, love you. Bye.
That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. I know there are so many things that you could be doing with your day, so many things you could be listening to, and it means so much that you are here in this community. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment, share it on social media, and tag me at Intuitive Edge Coaching. Share it with a biz bestie who you think needs to hear it and will appreciate it. And take a moment to to subscribe, and to leave a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It helps me grow this show, and it helps us grow and sustain this brilliant community of entrepreneurs dedicated to doing the inner work. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.